and sportschatplace.com doing the drive-through today. I'm hosting. It's going to be an experience. I promise you that much. We got some awesome handicappers with us today, and let's just take a look and see who that is. We've got Al Ninos with us today. Tony Brown. We've got Jovan here with us. I did not post his parlay from last night. We had a communication error, and then I had about 10 million things going on. So it's like, we'll get his parlay up today, and maybe he'll give out his parlay on the show. We've got Brian, and of course, Rod Zawacky. He's got his Dolphins gear ready as the Dolphins locked and loaded. A lot of excitement in Miami. About a month away from NFL season, but I'm not going to read the rundown the way that Tony does because I'm not as good at it as he is. But we will do something. Let me see if I go to this preview mode, and then I go to, all right. So while that's my 7 free picks slate. Here we go. All right. So I'm gonna behind the scenes get everything together and try and get everyone out in the correct order here. So up first is gonna be Al Ninos, then Brad, who I don't see here, then Jovan, Brian, Tony Brown, Rod. And then I guess I'm supposed to give a pick, but I've already given a bunch of picks. So you guys already know what those are. And let's see. So who's going to be first is Al Ninos. Man, am I not good at this? All right. Tony makes it flow so easily, right? It's like he makes it look effortless. But trust me on this one. It's a fire drill behind the scenes. All right. Just a second. And... whoops. All right. We welcome in Al Ninos. Al, welcome to the show. I did it. I got you on here. How's it going?
Going good, Mitch. How are you?
I'm doing good. I actually watched your Dodgers last night. I was up watching it, and they let the Cubs come back. It looked like they weren't going to cover the run line. When Kimbrel threw that wild pitch, they got him out of there. And then, some good work by the rest of the bullpen to close it out. And, a strike right down the middle that the Cubs didn't swing at. Go figure. So, how are you doing today?
You're doing great. I think you're being a bit too harsh on yourself, by the way. I think you would have said Tony T. You would have had the whole audience fooled, man. You got to keep them on their toes.
I think Tony T's actually picking games a lot better than I am, too. So I think everyone's getting double screwed here in our audience because Tony's been on fire this season with his Major League Baseball picks. I believe he's on the leaderboard. I don't know if he's number one or with Roman. I think him and Romanelli are kind of duking it out up there.
He's definitely been up there at the top, that's for sure. But yeah, doing our best here without him, and I guess we'll have to pick the slack up a little bit.
All right.
But,
well, I see you got the Pirates Brewers is your game here. What's going on? We know that the Brewers 9 games in a row following a loss, they've beaten the Pittsburgh Pirates. So does that continue, or you got another angle here because we got a big number on the Brew Crew?
Yeah, it's a huge number on the Brewers, and normally in the match, or I should say mismatch like this, I'd be all over the Brewers -1, but I'm not sure I could quite get there. Although I do think they win the game, I still think there's a better way to look at it. Especially with Aaron Ashby getting the start here for them, it's been pretty rough for him, giving up 4 runs, 6 runs, 4 runs in his last 4 outings. And, one of those, his last outing was actually against the Pirates, where he did give up 4 runs. On the other side, J.D. Brubaker hasn't been too terrible, but again, his last outing was against the Brewers, and he gave up 4 runs in that outing as well. Now, they might not be as terrible as they were in their last start, but I do think this game ends up going over the total. The Brewers have a pretty good bullpen, but again, with Aaron Ashby getting the start, I think the Pirates get to him and score enough runs to help us get this game over the total.
Brewers have been having a lot of overs lately, that's for sure. They've definitely been hitting the ball well and quietly putting some separation between them and the Cardinals there in that National League Central, one of the toughest divisions. It doesn't get a lot of credit, but when it comes to making the postseason, the Brewers do it more often than anybody. at least over the last 10 years or so. So Al Ninos likes the over in the Brewers Pirates game. What do you got for sale tonight at pickdogs.com and
I got my
sportschatplace.com?
$15 best bet, and also have a 3-pack, and then a couple extra plays for everyone on the long-term passes. So make sure you check one of those out, or the 2-for-1 capper specials.
We know that you tend to like the favorites, and they've been getting dinged up a little bit lately. I see a lot of frustration in the comments from people that have been getting bruised on those favorites. Any advice for them? You gonna ride the course, or just be a little bit more particular in picking your spots?
No, well, I guess, I mean, obviously we can't just go, as I said, normally I'd be all over the Brewers -1, but we got to be careful just blindly taking big favorites like this, because I don't think Aaron Ashby's should be -200. Even if he's on the much better team here, I think the Pirates can get to him and give themselves a chance to pull the upset off. So much rather look at this total here than a big favorite. I still like my favorites. Just again, got to be more selective with them and a little more careful. They're not going to win all their games. It's been a pretty rough stretch for me, but turned it around a little bit last night. Trying to keep things going.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Al. Good luck tonight, and well, thanks for trying to help me out here as I navigate life on the drive-through.
I'm sure you'll do just fine, Mitch.
Well, we're gonna bring in Jovan. I guess we're not gonna take the in-betweens and stuff. We're just gonna bring in the next guest. It's gonna be Jovan. Jovan, welcome to the drive-through. 2.0. I don't know if that's the advanced version or if it's kind of like the. I think there's like Tony T's kind of like the Dom Perignon of drive-throughs. I'm more like the old Milwaukee's, I think. But doing the best that I can here with it.
Hey, we're getting through it, just in time for the weekend.
I think the most important part is people getting their picks, and I think that they're going to get. So I wasn't able to do your parlay, but what was the parlay for today? Because I know they've been pretty good.
Yeah, the parlay was the Marlins and the Rangers.
So I like that also. I think there's some good value there on the Marlins against the Mets, and then the Texas Rangers. These guys, I mean, to me, they're a couple players away from being contenders. Maybe not contenders to win it all, but contenders at least to make the postseason. They're just a couple of players away. Definitely, they're closer to being a contender than further away. But if they don't watch out, then they're going to have two teams in front of them, because Seattle playing some pretty good baseball in that American League West. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying about the American League West. Is surprisingly they're competitive. With the Rangers, the Mariners, of course. Of course, you got the big guns in Houston, but you have some decent. I mean, you have the A's, the punching bag, but it is what it is over there. That they'll hit Vegas soon enough.
Yeah, I think I think that there's a lot of baseball left to be played, and I think that the Rangers are certainly a team not afraid to spend a couple of bucks, and it would be interesting to see what kind of moves that they make. Last year they were sellers at the trade deadline. This year I think they're going to be buyers, and I think to me it's like I always say, why wait till the trade deadline? If you don't have to. It's like a lot of time between now and then. And I think since no one's talking about this game, I think it's pretty amazing that the Orioles are the team with the better record than the Angels in that matchup today too.
Yeah. Right.
I think that's the big surprise in the West.
Yeah, and you see it in the money line. Like, who would have thought, even a month ago, that the Orioles would have been, this the favorites in this one.
Well, anyway, someone does have that game. Someone does have that game. Rod has it. We'll talk about that with Rod as well. But anyways, we've got you've got a game here, the Marlins and the Mets. You gave that out in your parlay. You gave out the side, but I know your pick for this show is on the total.
Yeah, it's on the total, and I'm looking at these two pitchers, Pablo Lopez and Chris Bassett. Now, Pablo Lopez, I do expect him to have a bounce back game. He did get touched up for 5 runs in his last start, but I think he has a better start. Now, a better start in my eyes would be giving up 2 or 3 runs, in like a 5 or 6 inning span, and the bullpen giving up maybe 1 or 2 more. On the other side, we had Chris Bassett, who did get hit up by the Marlins uh, the start before his last start, but 2 starts ago. So I just think that these two starters are primed to give up, a couple 3 runs, and then you give it up to the bullpen, and the bullpen's gonna give something up. So that's how I'm looking at this game. If it's not over by the time these pitchers hand the ball over to the manager and the manager gives it over to the bullpen, it will go over in the 7th or 8th inning. That's just the way I'm thinking about this game. So I think it hits 8, 5-3, 6-2, somewhere around there.
Yeah, Lopez last time out, he had a no-hitter going for a good portion of the game, and he lost the no-hitter, and then kind of the numbers were not there at the end either. So, I don't know. Lopez is one of those guys. He has really good stuff, but when all is said and done in his games, it generally doesn't always shake out that way. It doesn't always show that on the scorecard for him. And then, Bassett probably, this is a guy that I think is going to be more effective the second half of the season because he'll move down in the rotation. He's going to be number 3 or 4 in the Mets rotation instead of 1 or 2 where he's been. Yeah. So he's going to be.
I mean, with Scherzer coming back and DeGrom, on his way back, it really sets up nicely for the Mets in the second half of the season, as far as I'm concerned.
Because we've seen Taijuan Walker tail off after the All-Star break. We saw it happen last year. So even if that happens and you end up with Bassett as your number 3, you're in pretty good shape, considering what some of the other teams have out there. But what do you have for sale today?
Yeah, so it's Friday, so you know what that means. I'm trying to take flight on these books with my Take Flight Friday. I have a couple single plays. The run line the run line rake and the laser show. So 2 plays that I think is gonna cash. Give the people what they want, which is winners, and hit them in the head with that. But you can also check me out on my 3-day, my 7-day, my 30-day, or match me with one of the other handicappers for the 2-for-1 cap promotional.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and I'm sure you probably look forward to Tony T coming back, but we'll see you tomorrow on the weekend show.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Hey, I get to get out of here early because no recap.
Yep. So, yep. I'm never around for the recaps. So didn't even know Tony did it. But of course, get 14% off all your purchases at Premium, including Jovan's packages. Use the code July14 at checkout. Yep. This way you can buy more picks. All right. Bring in Brian Bitler next. We did not see Brian this morning on the regular live show. We saw him on the Premium and VIP shows. We shot those way early this morning. You could tell they were early because Ruffalo fell asleep halfway through. But, Brian, how's it going?
Well, Chris didn't have the cookies hanging out of his mouth, but he was kind of tired, I could tell.
Yeah, he was definitely ass dragging, as they say.
I know I set my alarm for early, so I was ready to go by 8. So,
anyways, last night we saw a lot of action, a lot of good action last night. I think you had a winning day again yesterday. This is kind of like, these days, this is kind of like more normal baseball. And while a lot of people, when I read in the YouTube comments, they're saying, "Oh, baseball's so whack this year," and baseball's whatever. This is actually more normal. What we're seeing now, where it's like it's the teams with the best records and better statistics don't always win, and the numbers over the long haul are, certainly show that, and that's why some of your picks sometimes are not as popular with our viewers, if you took maybe the Braves, the Dodgers, and the Yankees every day.
Sometimes I get enamored. Like I think I'm the opposite of Al Ninos, because I look at the board and I try to talk myself off of a dog instead of talk myself off of a favorite. Maybe I'm too dog heavy, but I think baseball's a grind. As long as you stick to it and keep the juice low on your plays, you have a good chance of ending up positive for the season.
All right. Well, what game are you going to talk about tonight?
I'm going to go here with the San Francisco Giants here on the money line. The line is moving towards the Padres, but I'm not really too worried about that. It just gives me more plus money betting on the Giants. I think San Francisco performed terribly lately, losers 8 of their last 10 games, but that just increases the value for us backing them tonight. We've seen the Giants go to a bullpen game before and been successful. I think Blake Snell, if you're lucky, you're going to get 5 innings. Most of the time, he's 4 innings, gives up 3, 4, 5 runs. So for me, I'm going to take the Giants here in the money line. Giants 10-4 last 14 versus a left-handed starter, and they're 13-6 on a Friday last 19. So Giants money line play for me.
You know, I watched that Giants game last night, and it was just typical Giants most of the way. It's kind of like they were losing. They looked like they weren't going to do anything, and then all of a sudden they tied the game up late, and it looked like they were going to get a chance to steal it, which is what they were really successful at last year, but they were unable to finish it off and close the deal. You know, you've got a pretty big pitching matchup going today and tomorrow in this series, so you know,
and last night was a real pitcher still too.
Yeah, I mean, it was 2-1, and you know, it was. I believe you had the under, right, as your premium. So.
I had the under also, but I also had I'm a degenerate, so I had the Giants also for a small play, and I was hoping to double dip on that one.
All right.
They put up on.
Well, what do you have for sale tonight at Pick Dogs?
Well, I'm on a 15-8, 65% run last 23. I'm going to just try to keep the grind going. I got my best bet, my MLB Titanium play, just $15 at pickdogs.com, premium picks. Or you can get my 3-pack MLB. It includes that $15 play. All 3 plays for $50. Or team me up with one of the handicappers on the leaderboard. I know Rod had a big day yesterday, or Romanelli or Tony T there at the top of the baseball board. But make sure you guys check that out.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. And, of course, we will see you tomorrow. For some reason, I can't find Tony Brown's name label, so we're going to make one on the fly. It looks terrible. Sorry, Tony. Anyways, we're going to bring in Tony Brown, and you guys will see. Tony T makes it look so easy, to do the show. I'm going to try and fix you in the meantime while you're talking, but NHL season ended. You were one of the tops on the board there. Baseball kind of is baseball, and we know that, we all do baseball, right? But there's not really anyone among us that's kind of like, well, even though some of us might be good at baseball or have great seasons of baseball, no one's kind of like, oh, baseball's here. We're more like, all right, we're just counting the days down to football, college hoops, NBA, back to NHL. What are you thinking of football this year? I know.
Yeah, we're just betting.
Yeah, it's not.
We got to play it, but it's definitely a filler between football.
So, let me see something. I'm still trying to find your. Nope. I'm gonna make you one while you're talking. It's the last thing I do. Anyways. So, what play do you have tonight for everyone?
Well, tonight for the free pick, I'm going to go with a total in the Dodgers game. The Dodgers are playing the Cubs, and it's set at 8.5, and I'm going to go under. Me personally, I'm going to buy the hook, get it up to 9. Like, if you think it's going under 8.5, you definitely think it's going to go over 10. Under 10. When you buy that hitches, and it's going to need 10 to beat you, and just frankly, this one is a stat buster, and it uses the eye test. Like, just watching the Cubs play this year, you see they're not good. They can't score that much, and especially against us. We're 4-0 against the Cubs. We had a game against them last night. We beat them 5-3, and then we had 3 games against them at Wrigley, and we beat them 20-3. We outscored them 20-3 over the 3 games. So they're averaging a run and a half against us in 4 games. They got 6 runs. They just can't score. And tonight is going to be even harder. We got our number 1 ace on the mound. It's not Clayton Kershaw anymore. Times have changed. It's Tyler Anderson. He's 9-1 with a whip of just 1, an ERA a shade under 3. Like, this dude is outstanding. So, with one of our aces on the mound, and then the Cubs' best pitcher is on the mound. He's not going to stop the Dodgers lineup, but he'll be able to slow him down. Keegan Thompson, he's pretty good. He's gone 7-3 this year. So 2 good pitchers, 2 good bullpens, and only 1 team scoring. We're going to be one-sided. 10 runs will be a chore to beat us, and I'm going to take the under in this one.
Yeah, I thought I've noticed how I fixed your name. Anyways, Craig Kimbrell last night was absolutely horrible once again for the Dodgers. I don't know. It's weird because when you think of the Dodgers, you think Kershaw and Walker Buehler and, but it's like none of those guys are really relevant this year. I mean, I think they put Tony T says the same thing. They put a lot into Bauer, being part of the future of this team. When they signed him, it's like they kind of had a choice of these are the guys that are out there. This is the guy we're going to go after and put a lot of money into. And it's kind of like with him not out there, boy, it's a gut punch to them.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, but it's not like we made a mistake. Well, obviously now in hindsight, but he was an ace. He was a stud. He was supposed to be like right at the top of our rotation. He was going to be a 20-game winner, Cy Young candidate. Like we did invest a lot in him, and then to lose him just how we lost him, we're not going to get into politics on the show, but he's just out. So that did a lot. But we have some people replace him that we never thought we would. Like you said, we got the Tyler Andersons, and it's not the Walker Buehlers, and it's not the Clayton Kershaw. We were even thinking of putting Kershaw in as like a reliever, or you know what I mean? He was down in our rotation this year, so it's crazy so far. But we're not going to score. I know that for sure.
Yeah, it just seems that I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers went out and made a move at the trade deadline, or before to try and shore up.
Well, it's the Dodgers. They're like the Lakers. They're going to do something surprising. It's LA. Like we got to get a big star, make a big move, a big trade, just because. So even if the arms weren't all shaky right now and it wasn't going crazy, we go out and sign somebody huge. And then I want to trade Freddie Freeman. Like his dude goes back to Atlanta. He fired his agents and his agency crying about he didn't get a deal. He didn't hear his last offer from Atlanta. And it's like he didn't want to be there, so he can go back.
Well, the Braves have a lot to trade, and, they've got, some good young pitchers too. I know Ian Anderson falling out of favor, for the most part there. And they have some other guys, that have been injured, like Soraka and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Braves didn't have something, if they really wanted to grab Freddie Freeman. And, not a bad guy to have on the roster, but I don't know who the Dodgers would replace him with at this point.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I mean, I don't want a player that don't want to be there. No, that's like the worst thing. And then to say it out loud, that's horrible.
No, you don't want a guy that doesn't want to be there. That's for sure. Well, anyways, what do you got for sale tonight for Pick Dogs?
Good Friday night. I got my Friday Night Lights triple play. That's all three of my top MLB picks on one pass. You can get them individually, but it's better to go on and get it on the triple play. And then I got my $15 Friday night fight. It's for, guys want to just see what I'm about. It's only $15 for the pick. Serious about making money, go on and grab that and cash big tonight with us.
So Tony and I have been working together for a while, as long as I have with just about anybody out there. So it's like, the $15 thing is something that I never had done before. And we just added it this year. What do you think? I like it. I like, that it's kind of like, even though it actually is more expensive than buying the longer term packages or even the 3-pick packages, it is $15, at the end of the day. So it gives everybody that entry point. And then, of course, with the credit guarantee, if they don't win, they could go back and get your pick for tomorrow or, another capper, or, if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It gives the players a little discount, let them get in on some picks where they wouldn't have. And it just makes us work hard. Like, we have to win. You want to win, and that's the goal of this thing is to win. We're not here to take the people's money. We want the bookies' money. So
that's exactly
the $15 play has been good.
All right. Well, we will see you, we'll see you soon. And thanks for joining us. Good seeing Tony Brown as always. And I'll see you out in Vegas shortly. That's for sure. Definitely will be. I'll definitely be there for NFL opening weekend.
You'll be here, man. You got to tap in. Last time I missed you. I'll give you a pass. Next time, man, you got to tap in.
Last time I never left the Aria the entire time. I was locked in the sports book. I
know you got a good story about that one too. Then.
All right. Well, maybe you'll have to make an appearance at the Aria next time. I got you. All right. We'll see. I will definitely see you next month. All right, that was Tony Brown. We've got Rod Zawacky with us now. Rod, I touched on your game, so we might have to go over another game as well. But I I don't know. I'm not. Tony T makes this look so damn easy, but there is nothing easy about this. You know, the host role is a tough spot because number one, you got to think of something to talk about, and then outside of that, it's like you're flipping things around and doing it. We don't have like a production person like some of the other people have.
Right.
I always put everything into our content. You know, like I'd rather have more cappers, more stuff, all this stuff. You know. And some of the other shows, they're more production focused, you know. It's like eventually someday we'll have that, but it's not today, unfortunately for me.
He does. He just makes it look too easy because he sneaks right in there and he just hits the buttons and the screen changes. And
He does the preparation. So you sent me some photos of some hail that hit your area. Was it last night? I mean, some of these things were like baseball size.
Yeah. Right on through my window like gunfire.
You think that was in protest of the Calgary Stampede or whatever is going on?
Yeah, probably. Maybe the Calgary mayor sent that out after me and said, "Here you go. Look, take some of this." I'm cooking dinner. All of a sudden, hail hit. All of a sudden, the wind picked up, and I heard these big bangs. And I looked out the window, and big giant hail came down. And next thing you know, windows are smashing, and it's blowing 120 miles an hour, whipping through and shooting hail. And it smashed up every window on the south side facing on my place. Every window smashed out. So I got 6 smashed out windows I've been cleaning up today, and drying out floors, and phoning insurance people, and yeah, busy day.
I've had cars with hail damage, and I didn't even know what it was. You know, I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, your car, it looks like, all of a sudden your car looks like a giant golf ball. Yeah. It's got all these little divots, and it's like, well, what the heck is that? My front windows, my car smashed in. It's awful. I'm just happy that everybody's safe and sound. Me, my wife, and the dogs, we're all good, safe and happy. Dogs hid under the bed. But everybody's safe and sound, so that's the most important thing.
As always.
So that's good.
All right, well, we got Major League Baseball. I know you got a pick in this Orioles-Angels game. I think it's surprising as heck that the Orioles are, have the better record of these two teams. I think a lot of people are surprised. And the Angels, missing Rendon already. He's the Zion Williamson of Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, pretty much when the Angels went on when Rendon's not in there and he's not playing, they've just tanked. They've just nosedived. And you look, their last 52, they're 17-35 their last 52 games, 9-23 following a loss. And tonight, I don't think it's going to get any better for the Angels here. Tyler Wells gets the start for the Orioles here, and he's been lights out in the season, 7-4 on the year, 3.09 ERA with a nice 1.0 whip. And especially his last 7 starts, he's 6-1 his last 7 starts. You look at his last 3 starts, he's got a nice 1.12 ERA. And the team, when he gets there, he's going to be giving him run support as well. So we're going to go with the Orioles here. They've definitely been a better team. Reed Detmers gets the start for the Angels. He hasn't been good. 2-3 on the season with a 4.66 ERA. In his last 4 night games, he's not even getting any better. 4.96 ERA with almost a whip of 1.42. So we're going to go with the Orioles. 5-0. They won 5 in a row. And they're also 4-0 following a win. So I think they keep it going here. Fire out the bandwagon. Jump on the Orioles. I think they keep winning. Angels 1-5 the last 6 meetings. 1-4 the last 5 in Baltimore as well. And you look, the Angels, they've lost 6 as the underdog versus the AL East. So they'll take the Orioles here on the money line. I think they get another win over the Angels.
I think for the Angels, it's been Ohtani and everyone else, on the mound. It's him, and if it's not him, it's everyone else. Even Noah Syndergaard, just doesn't look like the same pitcher there. And, I talked about it this morning, too, that, Mike Trout has that big contract, and it's tough to trade a Mike Trout, but, boy, this might be the time.
Right? You probably got a few pieces for him.
Yeah, I mean, you can get top dollar for him and unload that giant salary at the same time. It is Mike Trout, so it's like if you're going to trade him, you got to get it right, So you will be held accountable on that one. But anyways, what are you selling tonight at Pick Dogs? I know you're doing the $15 plays as well, and I know you got a 3-pack too.
Yeah, for me, I had a nice day yesterday. We hit our 3-pack, nice winning there. Hit our $15 bookie buster with the Dodgers. Don't take them very often, but we took them yesterday, and so we're gonna go with
held on for dear life.
Yeah, I held on. I was actually watching that. I was like, "Oh, I got the Windows P. I'm watching. Come on!"
I had the Rockies with that no doubter. It was like 3-3 the whole game. Dallas Keuchel's pitching like he's Cy Young contender, and then all of a sudden it's like Melanson's warming up in the bullpen. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Thank goodness, yeah. So for me, I got the $15 bookie buster over there at Pick Dogs Premium, or I got my Steak Friday triple. You can pick either one of those up over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's head into the weekend strong as another winner.
Absolutely, we got to get you back on the weekend show. In the morning. So
definitely, I'll be back tomorrow on Sunday.
Awesome.
I'm free and available. I'm not stuck at the farm herding cows.
We're only a couple.
I've been around here lately, herding cows.
Well, we're only a couple weeks away from football, so everyone will warm up then. But anyways, Rod, thanks for joining us, and to everybody out there, thanks for joining us. It was fun doing the drive-thru. I don't think I'll be hosting again for a while. Normally, it's Ruffalo is the fill-in guy, so it's like I'm really the third stringer. I'm kind of like I'm the third call up from the minors, for the drive-thru, which is definitely a little bit more serious, a little bit more heavy hitting, a little bit more pick focused than the morning where I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make it a winning night. Use that 14% off while it's there. After the All-Star break, though, it's Christmas in July. Big discounts on the long-term packages. Make it a winner, everyone. We appreciate each and every one of you. Tony T, come back soon.